What's up guys, Adam here from Tech.Belker. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Heli replay from Hogs. Alright, let's jump right in. Alright guys, so here it is. The Heli replay by Hogs. This is the blue, black, and gray model. It retails on Amazon with Amazon Prime for about $40. First, I'm going to talk about the build quality. I really like it. This helicopter has taken a beating, as you can see, maybe on these propellers. They've hit the ceiling so many times. But it still flies like it just came out of the box. The only thing that doesn't seem very sturdy about it are these landing legs, landing pads, whatever. They're a little flimsy, but they're never really going to hit anything and get damaged. So that's okay. Alright, now on to how you can actually fly this thing. In the box, you do get the physical controller, as comes with all RC helicopters. It's pretty simple, just an on switch there. You have your power cable that goes into the bottom. This is up, that's up, that's down, and this is not spring loaded, so you can set it to hover. See, whenever I go up it stays, go in the middle it stays. You can set it just to hover, so that's pretty nice. And then here you have your left control, right control, up control, and down control. And obviously on this side you'll have your trim for trimming it if it goes off a little bit, which it hasn't for me. I haven't had to use that yet, so that's pretty good. On the back of the controller, you also have this thing. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is that? Well, this actually plugs into your iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch. I'm not sure if it works with Android or not, but you plug it in via the headphone port, and you can control it with your iPad, or your iPhone, or your iPod Touch. Now, this sounds very appealing, but I'll talk more about that once we get into the actual flight test. Now, the only disadvantage well, I wouldn't really call it a disadvantage, but the only bad thing about this is that it's indoor only, because this sensor is an IR sensor, which is infrared, which means if you get it in bright light, like extremely bright light or direct sunlight, it'll mess up the signal and it will not work. Now, one more thing about this IR adapter or sensor, it fits really nicely into an iPad or an iPhone that does not have a big bulky case on it. Like my iPad right here just has a standard little Belkin case on it, and the adapter fits right in. It just fits right into the top. But if you have a big bulky case, as I do on my iPhone, I have the Griffin Survivor case. When I open up the headphone port, as you can see, it's pretty well blocked off. So if I go to plug it in, it doesn't go in unless I plug it in just like this and don't touch it anymore. If I try to twist it, it comes out, try to keep it straight up, it comes out. You've gotta, it doesn't work very well with big bulky cases, especially this Griffin Survivor. I'm not sure how it is with the OtterBoxes because I don't have one, but that's just another thing about this sensor. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad with a big bulky case, be prepared to take it off. Alright, so first of all, you're going to need an app called Hogs Control. Now, whenever you search for this in the App Store, you get two. You get the Hogs Control and you get the Hogs Link for iPad. Now you're going to need the one that's called the Hogs Control. It's got this icon, it is free, and it is by Spin Master. So I'll give you a close-up on that. So I've already got it installed, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit open. And here we go. You download the Hogs controlling app, and you have two modes of flying. You have the accelerometer mode, and you also have the joystick mode, which is basically an on-screen joystick and slider control. The first one I'm going to show you is this one. So we just tap that, get the nice little animation there, and then we have this screen. Now this is the on-screen slider control, and this is the joystick for forwards, backwards, left, and right. Now before you use this, you have to make sure your headphone volume is turned all the way up, and that your iPad is not muted. See, there it's muted, there it's not muted. Because the way this thing transmits the signal, as you can probably guess, is through sound, which is why it's plugged into the headphone port. So first, let's give this a quick test. On the side of the helicopter, you have an on and off switch, a very small on and off switch, that is. So we turn it on, we get this flashing red light. Now, so I can take this slider with my finger and slide it up, and there's the helicopter. It turned on. Now, if I release the slider, it slowly goes down, and the helicopter slowly turns off. I'm not going to give a flight test yet, but that's basically how the app works. Go up, and you can go down. Now, another way you can control it with this app is with accelerometer mode, which is right here. So we tap that, and you'll notice the joystick is gone, and we have sort of a crosshairs. Now, what this does, it too turns the helicopter on, but the way you control it is by tilting your iPad. If you look at that crosshair right there, as I tilt the iPad, it will tilt. See that? So that means you would hold the iPad like this. Whoops. Hold the iPad like this, and you would tilt it forward, backward, left, or right to control the helicopter. If you're wondering why it's called a Heli replay, this is it. So if you're in the app, and you'll notice let's switch back to joystick mode. You'll notice there are 3 little record buttons beneath the joystick, and that's what they are. They're record buttons. See them? Now this means you can record your flight path and then replay it again. So if you want to do some cool 360 around the room and then land back on your bed, you can. Alright, so how this works is you have 3 record buttons here, as I said before. You're just going to press one of them. It's going to turn into a blue stop button. And what you want to do, say we wanted to go up, full speed, go back down, and then come back up about halfway, and then bring it down. Now we're just going to hit the stop button. It turns into a green play button. Now if I hold this and we play it, it's going to redo the exact actions I just did. See, there you go. If you watched it, this bar or up here actually went up and down. I'll replay this so you can see it. And as you can see, there are 3 buttons, which means you can record and save up to 3 flight paths at a time. Now, just one more thing to remember. This replay feature is only on the iPad or iPhone. As you can see on the physical controller, there's no stop, pause, record buttons. Now, before we get into the flight test, I'm going to talk about a few more things. First of all, this is probably the easiest to control helicopter I have ever used. It is a great helicopter for beginners. The helicopter actually has an accelerometer built into it. I'm not going to point it out because I don't know where it is. But that means if it starts tilting this way and you didn't tell it to, it'll automatically fix itself. If it starts tilting this way and you didn't tell it to, it'll automatically fix itself. So that's a pretty nice thing about this. That makes it really easy to control versus the other helicopters that if they start tilting, they just go crazy, hit a wall, and then they're broken. Okay, so first I'm going to test it with the physical controller. Alright, here we go with the physical controller. Set it right there on the floor and go up. Go up and around, kind of spin around, you know, do a couple spins, spins the other way, forward, just kind of all around the room. Forward some more, back to me, and I got it. One thing I forgot to mention when I was doing the actual review is that to charge it, you're going to take it, turn the controller on, you get the green light, then you're going to turn the helicopter off and plug it in on the bottom underneath the nose of the helicopter. And then this changes to a red flashing light and your helicopter is charging. Alright, so now I've got the iPad with the remote plugged into it and I'm going to test it out this way. This is with the on-screen controls, not the accelerometer. Alright, doing the same stuff. We got some spins. We can go forward or backward, left or right, up and down. And I can catch it as long as I don't break it. Alright, so now I've got it switched to accelerometer mode, and I'm going to test it out with that now. Which means basically you tilt the iPad forward to go forward, back to go back, left and right. But you still have the on-screen up and down controls. So here we go. Tilt it forward. And nothing happened. It just went way over my head. I really have no idea what happened. Alright, let's give that another go. Alright, turns out you have to tilt it backwards to go forwards and forwards to go backwards. See if I can bring it back here. Maybe. It's like the controls are backwards. I'm not sure what's happening. Well, I got it. This accelerometer mode is really hard. It turns out it's tilt forward to go backwards, tilt backwards to go forwards, tilt left to go right, and tilt right to go left. I really don't like the accelerometer controls. I'm really not sure what happened there. Alright guys, thanks for watching, but let me say a few more things before you leave. I honestly prefer the physical controller over the iPad controller, over either iPad controller, because with the accelerometer, the controls are just all whacked up. And also, whenever you're using the on-screen up and down, it's like sometimes your finger slips and then your helicopter crashes and you have no idea what happened. But with this, you can actually feel your finger on the controls. Here you can feel your finger on it. I just like the resistance of the actual controller rather than sliding my finger up and down a screen, because sometimes it messes up. You don't know what happened, and it's just a lot harder to control that way. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.